Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Well, it's now 2 minutes of 1 a.m., Mr. Chairman, and I guess I can see why the Republicans wanted to sneak this health care bill through in the dead of night and defeat a reasonable motion to go till tomorrow morning so my constituents could know what's going on. And here's why. You can't just cut 700 and, Mr. Chairman, the committee's not in order.
Committee, come in order.
Thank you. You can't just cut $715 billion for Medicaid without slashing benefits for people. You can't do it. And in fact, the Nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office says that 13.7 million Americans will be kicked off their health care. Here's how it breaks down. CBO estimates that 8.6 million Americans will lose coverage under this bill, and then 5.1 million will lose their coverage because I'm going to guarantee you the Republican majority's not going to extend the enhanced ACA subsidies. This bill asks people who are making barely more than the poverty level, just $15,650 a year, to pay more for their care, while at the same time providing massive and disproportionate handouts to corporations and billionaires. And it hamstrings states' abilities to pay for quality care that the Medicaid beneficiaries need. The Republicans are making insidious cuts to Medicaid and our health insurance system. As I said, it adds up to 13.7 billion fewer people. Republicans continue to make this claim. They have all day and night, saying that they don't support cuts for providers or patients. And in fact, my colleague from Colorado's 8th Congressional District, who sits on this committee, said, and I quote, "I don't support cuts that harm Colorado providers or patients." But look what will happen with these cuts. There will be cuts to providers and patients. Medicaid covers nearly 80 million people nationwide, including in my home state, nearly 1.2 million people. This includes, it's 163,000 people in my district, but look at the 3rd Congressional District, which is Western Colorado. It's a very rural district. It's 213,000 people. And in the 8th District, north of me, it's a it's a mixed district. It has 182,000 people. Medicaid is a critical part of our health insurance system, and it impacts people all across the country. It pays for care for new moms, for working families, kids with serious medical needs, and more. And that's why 65% of Americans say that Medicaid has covered them or someone close to them at some point. So here's what's going to happen. And the reason why these people support Medicaid is because it saves lives. States that have expanded Medicaid have saved tens of thousands of lives by doing so. People who got Medicaid through the expansion have a 20% lower overall mortality rate than people who do not. These people are living healthier, they're having more productive lives by having access to the care they need when they need it, not just when they show up to the emergency room. Now, I know we're going to have a lot more debate on two of the things my colleagues across the aisle say. Number one, these work requirements. Now, let's be really honest, is the work requirements that they're saying not only will throw many, many people who are eligible off of insurance, but it will also increase paperwork requirements, and it will increase costs for the states. I'd like, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to put a study from the Kaiser Family Foundation into the record, which shows that 92% of Medicaid recipients are working, in school, disabled, are caregivers, or seniors. And that for those very few people that you could find, most of them are already working. You're sure as heck not going to save $715 billion by throwing these people off of their Medicaid. Thank you. Now, the other thing we're going to hear about, and I don't have much time, so we can talk about it later, is beneficiary fraud. Beneficiary fraud amounts to 1/10 of 1% of Medicaid. You tell me how you're going to save $715 billion through eliminating, quote, beneficiary fraud. With that, I yield back.